All right, we're Focused Empowerment. I'm Jermaine Bouye. This is
Richard Fine.
and okay, Richard. So we just had a nice conversation to get this kicked off. So today we're going to do kind of like a recap, a close to our last discussion, and then we'll just kind of move on.
Yeah, I don't know if we can close any discussion. Life goes on. I was, Jermaine, after we were talking about colorblind,
Uh-huh.
and for me, what that meant was I was recognizing that I did not make distinctions in people's background, ethnic, their color. I made kind of a generalization that we're all people with a heart. And where that came from for me was I remember my dad as a little kid on Fairmount Avenue, that there were all people of diverse backgrounds coming in. He was a pediatrician. And he just saw children to treat whatever their challenges were in their illness. And all people came in the late 50s, and it was different because we were divided into groups.
Yeah.
And I didn't know my dad, but I loved that part of how people smiled at his goodness. And then, for some reason or season, I just took that feeling to hold on to. And I didn't look at people too differently. And I know that's a blindness in me. I was colored by the beautiful feeling of my dad's care for people regardless. And when I talked to my daughter, boy, the minute I mentioned that, she said, watch out, Jack, get back. Take a look. It doesn't matter, Dad, what you're thinking. It matters what your thinking does, at least what I got, impacts others. And she's right. It really matters how other people feel about what I say, regardless of my story. And she sent me some things about it, and they were very beautifully stated of how we lump people together and, in a sense, abandon their uniqueness is what I got. But I got offended for a moment. I know my Ash is a good soul, but I felt like, God, is it all right just to be blind and not have to be judged so quickly? So I'm really aware of this moment. I want to have more compassion for people that are different, that lump people together. Doesn't mean that I don't want to take a stand on what is just and right. But if I start jumping on people for being different than my belief, then I think what I do is perpetuate my anger on them. So instead of understanding them, I'm going to start throwing them out because they aren't going along with my belief. I don't know. What do you hear me saying? I'm just all awakened by life and the heart.
Well, I mean, I think it's awareness. I truly feel, because I was, after our last conversation, I had to think about it as well. And I came to the realization I was the same way. Now, what I feel is, like, it didn't come from a bad place. You know, even with what you're saying. It's not that you view everybody the same in a malicious manner. It's just more of, and this is me speaking for myself, in lieu of what you're saying, but it's like if I see everybody the same, then I don't see anybody different. Me not seeing anybody different in my mind is saying I see everybody as equal. And that's how I once upon a time viewed it. It wasn't from a malicious place. I just wanted everybody to be on the same ground, in the same place. And then, you know, again, after our conversation and thinking about where we're at today, I realized, like, people who, I think the way we were thinking probably could be the ones who are making the biggest negative impact in the world because it's not it's subtle, it's hidden. I spoke about doing like my bias test and whatnot, and it's amazing where you would go with or what you would get from it. But we don't realize that we're not looking at diversity, which is what we should be looking at. You had that awareness before your daughter, I guess, told you how she felt. But I think actually that's at the end of the day, that's where it has to start.
Yeah. I'm glad that I see you as an African American for this reason. Because I'm wanting, as we grow, to know how that's impacted you from your experiences with others. And when we go out into the world together to do things, I want to be awakened to that awareness, just as I'm very sensitive of being a Jew and what people say, how people look at me. That's very deep to me. I never forget it. So Ashley's point is beautiful, to have a wider awareness,
Right.
and not merge everything together because I'm blind there. I'm blind when I don't see something expanded. But I grow through awareness. I grew through this conversation.
No, definitely. And you know what? It's okay. Again, I loved that we both were able to even express that. I think that's a hard thing that's going on right now. People aren't even willing to come to that realization, to express. You said to yourself, Richard, I need to change how I see things. I realize that I'm only seeing one dimension.
Yes.
I need to see more than one dimension because we are more than one dimension.
And when I see that in me, I'm more than one dimension, I can spot a greater awareness of more dimensions in others.
Yeah.
So I'm needing to open up all of my own awareness of my dimensions. The diversity from being frightened to being courageous, to being open to learn, to being bigoted, to see all of those qualities in me, that I can create a better way to be inclusive with myself and others.
Right. As you were saying that, so what I was thinking about is self-awareness, but when you can see the beauty within yourself in all dimensions, and as you were saying that, like you had this big smile on your face, you saw all of that within yourself, just that, quick. Now, just imagine to have the heart to want to see that same beauty in somebody else.
I want to pick up there. That's what we do as coaches. I want to talk to whoever is out on the ocean, is that I welcome all of your humanity. And I'm curious in our learning together for us to visit it and name it and claim it and let it become home to us so we can learn to work with all of us. That which we resist and put underground comes up and persists. Just going into the difficulty and being able to embrace it, to see it, to feel it, to allow it, and to allow it with kindness. Not revenge. Not, why haven't you been different? Because I really believe that motivation comes from kindness and encouragement, not threat. So I want to see things with a kind heart and also feel the emotions of the blindness. But I want to go back to love Because without that, I know for me, nothing will really deeply grow.
Right. So diversity, diversity exists. It's everywhere. It's within humans. It's within animals. It's within things. There is no escaping diversity. And we shouldn't escape it. We should embrace it because that's the beauty of life. Music, there is different genres of music, and we tend to enjoy them all. But that's diversity in music. Colors, there's diversity in colors. We tend to enjoy it all. You know, that's their diversity. But when we get to people, it's like we tend to put up, I'm gonna say a small wall. And the only reason why I say a small wall is because we don't actually realize that we tend to block ourselves from that diversity.
You're saying the small wall is an important one to me,
Mm-hmm.
but we're open to expanding it.
Yes.
We're not fighting against growing.
Right,
We
right.
just have to awaken.
Yes, it's like you stand there, instead of stepping over it or opening it up, you're just kind of standing there. You're just waiting. You're waiting because you don't know what your next step should be. Well, the next step should be to explore. Explore yourself and explore, you know, the other person. Get to know them. It is okay. That's what makes us connect.
I know within me that at times I'm really prejudiced. I'll say a prejudicial remark. It'll come right out of my gut. And I'm going to just let it be there to see, because it's true at times. It's true that I will lessen something, my own identity, people that are realizing, they lessen themselves. My God, we lessen our own diversity.
Yeah.
We can't accept our judgmentalness, our self-righteousness, our casting people so we can't accept those things in ourselves. So when I see those deep prejudicial things that come out in a moment of anger or fear, I know I got it. So I'm going to be more open and not say it's a little thing, because for me it's a big thing at times. And I was so angry at my daughters just jumping at me because it reminded me of sometimes where I came from, people jumping on you for the first thought. She's such I really want to say, she comes up and says, no matter what, I care for you, and here's the information, read it. And so it took a diverse conversation to lay some deepening respect between us.
And you said something, you know, in terms of acceptance. You said we can accept. But at the end of that, it just has to do with ourselves. You know, it's not that we can't accept the other person, we just aren't accepting ourselves first. So until you can accept who you are, until you can do a self-exploration,
Gotcha.
it's going to be hard for us to see, I guess, the diversity somewhere else, because we don't see it within ourselves. We don't recognize it within ourselves.
Thank you.
I am different from you. You're not different from me. I'm different from you.
I'm not different than you. From you.
I'm different from you. And see, you can say the same thing. You're different from me.
Yeah.
And that is saying that I'm recognizing it in myself first. So I'm different from you. I'm telling myself I'm gonna recognize myself first, because I can't recognize you until I can recognize
I'm with you.
myself.
So I think what a gift is, as we've learned together over time, when I recognize the things that are coming up for me that are different in me, I, from experience of being with you, can bring them to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I trust that the things that I'm struggling with, I can bring them to you. My biggest struggle is first to bring them to me.
And that's exactly it. And that's why I say you have to recognize it, so you can ask me any question with no problem. But ask yourself that same question, and you shy away from it.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, that's where we have to start, is with ourselves. We have to recognize it within ourselves. I challenge everyone this morning, today, to really just look at yourself. Ask yourself, who are you? What do you like? What do you don't like? And really just understand that, and then play with it. You can say, I like fast cars. Why? Why do you like fast cars? Whatever your answer is, it's okay. It's you. But know that. So then you get to talk to somebody else who like fast cars. Y'all have a common ground, but now you want to know, this is why I like fast cars. Why do you like fast cars?
Yeah, there's a different reason and season for all of us.
Yes.
And sometimes we only are above the waterline.
Mm-hmm.
When we go beneath the waterline, fast car might be, I want to be number one in the world. I want to look like I'm the fastest, the best, and the greatest. Mm-hmm. And I might feel the smallest, the slowest, and the most impotent. So I don't know. I think it's, if you spot it, you got it. Mm-hmm. But I like starting with self, coming home here, and then learning how to engage others with a wider awareness that comes from a greater inner awareness. Right. So that's what we do in coaching.
Yes, sir. So, start with yourself. Understand yourself. And then once you can do that, it will help your lens to go from here to here. But until you can look inside of here, you're always going to be stuck here.
I got it. Something I just learned.
Uh-huh.
When I'm riled up, frightened, scared, uprooted, my lens is here. It's black, white. It's good, bad, right, wrong. But when I'm more grounded, more connected, have a bigger open heart, my lens can see.
Yeah.
So I need to learn how to ground myself so I can see you and others.
Right.
So come on in and get grounded. Get grounded. That's what we do.
And remember, take a second and ask yourself, who are you? What do you want? What do you like? Explore your self-awareness, which will allow you to open your eyes to diversity and see other people's awareness. We're Focus Empowerment. You can find us at www.focus-empowerment.com. Please feel free to leave comments. Go check out our email or check out our website. And we will see you guys next time.
All right. Thank you, Ashley, for stirring up the subject. Now, if we can get this to her, I'll be the happiest father in the world.